How's it going, guys? It's TacTixHD here, bringing you episode 5 of NHL 13 GM Mode Expansion Team Dynasty Series. As you guys can see, our NHL team is looking really solid. A lot of young players with good overalls. As well, our defense is also looking very strong. All 6 defensemen are 81 plus. Goaltenders 86 Housen and an 84 Schneider. HL team also looking really good. Some nice prospects filling up the lineup, as well as just some other players that, if need be, I can call them up. And right now, guys, I actually got a trade offer from Boston Bruins, a 2018 first-round pick. So that's next year's first-round pick. They wanted Max Freiberg, 69 overall, 3.5-star two-way forward, left winger, and Arvidsson. He's not in Arvidsson. And they wanted Auger. He's like a 2.5-star potential. I switched Freiberg for Arvidsson because he's 3 stars opposed to 3.5, and I'd hoped they'd say yes, and they did. So I got to keep the better prospect and still get the first-round pick. Right here, guys, we're at the All-Star game. As you can see, Phil Kessel made the second line. Fucking All-Star made the third line. Danny Heatley. Just drinking Bacardi probably before that All-Star game, and Housen made the backup goalie. So Housen's been playing really well. I think last year, if I remember correctly, he won the Rookie Award. And right here, guys, at the trade deadline, making a minor league deal, trading a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round pick, and like a 2, maybe even a 1.5-star potential for a 3rd-round pick, just simply because, basically, guys, once you're past the 2nd or 3rd year of GM mode, the first 2 rounds are good, and after that, they're pretty bad. Like, if you get a 3-star potential prospect in the 3rd round, you got lucky. And as you guys can see, I finished 7th in the West, 7th in the NHL, and I think 7th in the West, and I forget when the NHL. And I played Dallas in the first round of the playoffs and actually lost them in 6. My NHL team played the Norfolk Admirals, won the first 2, then got swept, lost the next 4 games. So that's never good when you're up by 2 to lose the next 4. But anyway, guys, as you can see, just editing the lineups there, and like I said, that final game, we lost. Right here, the Stanley Cup champions, Boston Bruins, Calder Cup champions, Rochester Americans. Right here, the free agencies. A lot of guys actually retired. Roberto Longo finally retiring. Still with Vancouver after 1,000 games played. Tim Connolly down there. David Steckel, Steve Ott, Max Talbot, Johan Franzen, Marian Hossa, David Jones, P.A. Parento. So that's one of our guys who retired. I don't really mind that. I'm sure I can find a young player to get in, fill his spot. Brad Boyes, Brendan Morrow, Ryan Malone, Alex Tongay, Dustin Penner, Eric Cole, Mark Stewart, Ladislav Schmid. You know, a lot of guys that are kind of like not really on the cusp of retirement right now in the real NHL, but, you know, they're getting there soon. So a lot of, you know, good players starting to retire now. As you can see right here, I'm at the draft. This is my 1st-round pick. I only had 1 this year, and I decided to take Justin Bartowski, 6'6", 244-pound power forward left winger from Canada. I think that's a really good player, 3.5-star potential. He's projected to go in the 1st round, obviously high league interest, so I decided to take him. In the 2nd round, I had 1 pick. I usually end up with a 2nd, but I only had 1 this year. Decided to go with another power forward in Lars Stallberg, Swedish power forward. 3.5-star potential, projected to go in the 2nd or 3rd round. He also had high league interest, so hopefully, you know, one of those will turn out good, and I could probably end up moving the other for assets or package him for some kind of player. And then right here, guys, in the 3rd round, I actually got an offer from Edmonton for this 65 overall right-wing playmaker with 3.5-star potential, and Elias Lindholm has 2.5-star potential, and all they wanted to give me was their 2018 first-round pick. So I took that, and because of that, I have 3 first-round picks next year, which I think is going to be really good, whether I use them to draft players or use them to make a trade. And right here, guys, we're now at the re-sign phase. Right here, all the players that needed new deals. A lot of AHL guys as well as unsigned prospects I had to get rid of. So right here, I'm just kind of going through all the different positions. That's how I like to do it. Sort by overall and just kind of look at, you know, who's playing where and whether or not I need them. Sean Monahan obviously getting a new contract. I'm hoping he can, you know, reach that 80-plus potential in a couple of years. He's still in the minors, which is fine. Nathan McKinnon and Sam Reinhart are now my top 2 centers. And Jordan Schrader is actually going to be the 3rd, so I might end up moving him. Jeremy Morin, as you can see, 79 overall. I'm trying to get him as a long-term 3rd or 4th line left winger. Sign him for like 5 or 6 years, I think, for just under $2 million. Lucas Lesio wanted a 1-year deal. I gave him that. Signed a bunch of prospects there. Right now I'm looking at the right wingers. As you can see, I got Kessel and Horton. I'd really like to have Horton on the 3rd line and get a better 2nd-line right winger. Spurgeon needed a new contract, but I gave it to him. It's 86 overall, so he deserves it. As well, I decided to let go of Mark Fistrick simply because he wasn't in the top 6, and I didn't want to give him, you know, a lot of money. I knew he wouldn't want to be a 2-way defenseman. As well, let go of some AHL guys simply just to clear up the roster spot. I could afford them, but I'd rather have some young guys or maybe sign some young free agents. And then, of course, I got Vicentine a new contract. I think he's still pretty good, 78 overall, 4-star potential. He'll probably end up being the backup behind Housen. Right here, guys, just like I was talking, the 3 first-round picks. Have to decide what I want to do with them. And right here, guys, I'm signing exactly what I wanted to get, and that's a second-line right winger in Michael Grabner. I decided to go out and pay him some money to make sure he signed with me. I think there's 3 or 4 teams interested. Gave him $6 million for 3 years. Well, I signed Brady Vale, 70 overall, left winger. Only 3-star potential, but he played for the Spits, so I kind of needed to sign him. Matt Calvert, 80 overall, decided to get him as a third line or maybe fourth line left winger. Paid him $2.2 million, and as you can see, he's going to end up playing on the third line with Schrader and Horton. So that's a pretty nice third line. And then even the fourth line there, all 3 are 79 overall. Defense is still looking quite strong. Ellerby actually lost a couple overall, so I might think about moving him before he loses any more. Give some space for a young guy. As you can see, all of our prospects are still moving up. Monahan gained 3 overall, as well, of course, McKinnon and Reinhardt and all the prospects that are playing in the AHL are continuing to get better, and they're probably going to be approaching superstar status pretty soon. Right here, guys, just the team overall. As you can see, we are still 4.5 stars throughout. It's pretty tough to get past 4.5 stars, but once in a while I'll hit 5 stars in one of the categories. Besides that, guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stay tuned for more. And besides that, guys, have a nice day. Goodbye.